Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Grab yourself a nice cozy drink. I've got a hot chocolate right here and I'm really looking forward to having a chat with you today. I'd like to have a really laid back chat about something that you will know I'm pretty passionate about: hair care. If you've been following us for a while, you'll know that Everything Ivy Wild is going to be about helping you to create a loving relationship with your natural hair, helping you to nurture your hair through products that are non-toxic and are full of goodness. And this for me has been all about how hair products meet hair education, and it's about helping you to foster a unique relationship with your natural hair, not only through products but through the power of hair education as well. So that's exactly what I aim to do in this video. The topic of today's video is about embracing your natural hair, and I feel like it's a really funny topic for me to be recording wearing a wig, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm one of those people who are judgment free, and I have to be that way because I'm also a working mom, and I definitely am someone who would opt for the easiest or the hairstyle that is actually going to give me a little bit of a break, because I'll be 100% honest, having your natural hair out all the time whilst trying to retain length, whilst also trying to make sure that it's in a healthy state and you're not over manipulating it with so many different hairstyles. Sometimes a wig is a great hat, so you can just get up and go and get all the tasks that you need to get done. So please pardon the hat while I'm talking to you guys about embracing your natural hair in this cozy, girly, one-to-one video. I'm super excited about getting into it with you. I thought before I start getting into these tips, I would give you like an overview of my own personal relationship with my own natural hair. And I wanted to start at the very beginning. So when I was like 15, 16, in those kind of age ranges, I would be all about wearing wigs and weaves. No one would ever see my natural hair. I never took breaks in between my styling techniques. I was literally from one weave right back into the next weave, like the next day. I would have like an evening, which was like a washing evening, and then straight away right back into that wig or right back into that weave. It's really interesting actually, because I can recall at that point in time in my life, I had very low self-esteem. I didn't value myself very much. And I think I really had a really hard time with like forming friendships, boyfriends. I was like cheated on and all those different things that made me feel like I needed to show up in a certain way to feel accepted, to feel part of like a group. I think something really important to highlight in my own personal journey was going to school. It was a predominantly white school, and the big transition for me from school to college was going to a college that was predominantly black and trying to fit in, although it was in a white area. So trying to fit into those two groups, trying to maintain the social group at my school, whilst also trying to fit in with my newfound friends in college. I found that really difficult, and also just it was such a big change for me and my own personal identity. So I think those things were like the very early foundational parts for myself. I then went to university. University was amazing, had the best time. My first year of uni was at DMU in Leicester, and I actually failed my first year. I told all my friends that I was deciding to come back home, when in fact, no, you girl failed because I was partying way too much. So what I actually did was I went to a different university in Birmingham, which is my hometown, and I studied really hard and I passed, which is great. And again, it was all about trying to form my identity there. The group of girls that I had was like a really close-knit group, friendship group, which I was lucky to have. But trying to figure out your identity in a predominantly male-dominated field of work can be quite a challenge as well. Fast forward out of education to the now. So I've actually had 3 different types of scalp conditions in my life journey. So during my teen years is when I had traction alopecia, and I actually have 2 little bald spots in the front of my hair, which is like the edges area of my hair. And that was something that I obtained from going back to back in my styling techniques. The second time I've had a scalp condition has been after pregnancy, so postpartum shedding. and that was actually the entire front of my hair, and it took a really long time for that to grow back. I didn't really know at the time that it was telogen effluvium attributed to postpartum shedding, so that was a bit of a challenge for me to overcome. I then also had seborrheic dermatitis, and for a really long time I actually thought that was psoriasis until qualifying as a trichologist probably like last year. And for a really long time, I actually thought I had psoriasis because a doctor diagnosed me with psoriasis probably, I want to say about 7-8 years ago. So for all this time, I thought I've had psoriasis until qualifying as a trichologist. Just so you know, a trichologist is someone who specializes in hair and scalp health. So because of those experiences, and because of my passion for formulating products, which actually came before even realizing I had seborrheic dermatitis, or even realizing that my hair shedding after pregnancy was because of telogen effluvium, and this was a normal thing. Prior to that is when Ivy Wild was born, and I was actually formulating products even before experiencing the last 2 types of scalp conditions that I actually had. Actually, a caveat to that, seborrheic dermatitis has been something I've always had, because my mum has mentioned before that when I was newborn I had cradle cap. Thought I would bring those elements into this discussion today so that you can have a little bit of a flavor, so you know that my experiences are attributing to the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. So the first part of the video is going to be about nurturing your hair journey with Ivy Wild. And this is really beyond the concept of clean hair products, because I really want to talk about what non-toxic is, because I think sometimes we use these words interchangeably, thinking that they mean all the same thing. Natural does not mean non-toxic, and non-toxic doesn't mean plant-based. I would say the first tip would be about being an ingredient detective, because each ingredient in a formulation can either help or hinder you on your personal journey with your hair. We are constantly bombarded with new products, but how many of us actually turn that bottle around and read the ingredients and thoroughly understand what a formulation is telling you is in a product? That's why for me, whilst formulating the products, I wanted to make sure that these were ingredients that you would recognize on the back of your product when you're reading the ingredients. So something you might notice that we've started to do is include the ingredients on the back of the products. So you have the scientific name, and then you also have the name that you would regularly maybe identify in a store, for example. So we use honey in one of our products, well, in a couple of our products. This is because it's a natural humectant, and a humectant is something that is able to absorb moisture from its atmosphere. And honey is a great humectant. So that is something that we use in our leave-in moisture spray. So we actually use the word honey, so you're able to identify the word honey. And then we also use the scientific name, which is MEL, MEL, as a reference to honey in that product. The reason why I've done this is so it helps you to identify that same ingredient in another product. Maybe they haven't included the breakdown of what that ingredient is. So my goal is to basically help you so that you're informed on what the product is and what the ingredient is in the product or in the formulation. But even beyond the Ivy Wild brand, get curious. I think it would be helpful if you were to learn about the different chemicals that are put in products and what they do and how they can and can't help you. Because again, the use of the term chemical, people automatically assume that it's a negative thing, that if a product is chemical based, then it's a negative thing. But let me remind you that just water itself is a chemical. It's H2O as its chemical recognized name. So I would say just get familiar with some of the ingredients, even if you can't read them. And you can always do just that little bit more research so that you can find out what that ingredient is. And if it has its scientific name, doing a quick search might actually help you to understand what it does and how it helps you in your products. I would also add here that Ivy Wild Academy, which is our educational side of what we do, if you ever have a question about a product or an ingredient in a product, you can always send us a DM on Instagram. Our Instagram is @IvyWildAcademy, and we will be more than happy to help you debunk your questions and queries around products, ingredients, or even just hair education. Tip number 2 is that consistency is key. This tip is all about building a routine that's going to work for you. It's really not about having millions of products that don't work. It's about having the right products that work for you in your routine, or maybe your children's routine, or anyone else's routine that you're trying to create at this moment in time. Your hair thrives off routine, whether that's like a weekly deep condition, maybe you have a wash day ritual. I know that with my son, when he was very little, he absolutely hated getting his hair done. However, as a quick routine for him, sometimes I would actually do his hair in the bath, give him a couple of toys, keep his mind occupied. And that would be the ritual that we had formulated so that I could actually get some products into his hair and would actually keep him occupied, so I had enough time to do it. So that was another ritual that we built into his hair care routine. I will also say that the Ivy Wild range is created to actually complement the routine that you already have. So this means that if you have products in your range already that you quite like, that help in your routine, maybe you have your favorite products, there are Ivy Wild products that you can add into the routine that complement the routine that you already have. I would also say that our academy offers the right guidance and support to help you build a routine if you don't have one at the moment. For anyone that comes to our workshops, you'll know from right out the gate that I always start telling people to look at the LOC or LCO method, because this can help you at a very basic level to create a foundation so that you can create a routine that starts with liquid first, and that usually is what works for many of our customers and clients. My third tip is hydration, hydration, hydration. This tip, I'm actually going to show you some of the products we have in our range that are great for hydration. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 of our products. We have the Leave-In Moisture Spray. This is the go-to for anyone who has cornrows and braids and you just want to refresh your hairstyle from time to time whilst you have cornrows or braids in, or maybe your hair is out and you need like something water-based just to revive the products that you've already got in your hair. This is going to be another great product for your routine. It has mango butter, avocado oil. We have other ingredients in here like the honey that I mentioned earlier, and we also have aloe vera juice as one of those key ingredients to help you with hydration. As mentioned, the humectant in here is a natural way to bring moisture into your hair strands. So this is a great product. And as you can see, because we have the spray nozzle, it is much more of a water-based product. So this will be the first product that you would put in your routine. Another product I'm going to speak to you about is the Daily Leave-In Lotion. Now this is a thicker consistency to the Leave-In Moisture Spray. Many people actually say that this is a product that they absolutely love. However, I would say our Leave-In Moisture Spray is actually our best-selling product. So out of the 2, the differences between these, because that's one question that I always get, this is a thicker consistency. So if you know that your hair is slightly thicker, maybe it's going to be a hair texture that you find actually does better with thicker products, then this will probably be the formulation that's better for you. This has raspberry oil, it has grapefruit extract, which is great for your hair and your scalp, and both products are suitable for hair and suitable for your scalp as well. We have a mini Diddy version as well, so if you wanted to try a smaller version and then build your way up to a larger version when you realize that this is something that you need in your routine, then maybe you could start with the smaller version and then work your way up to the larger one. The Curl Definition Gel, this product right here is just gold in my son's routine. So my son has a different hair texture to myself. His hair is a lot lighter. He's like a curly hair texture, whereas mine is much more thicker than his. Mine's like an Afro 4B, 4C if we are going to categorize, whereas his hair texture is a lot lighter. So this gel is everything for him in his routine. It has marshmallow roots, it has raspberry seed oil. My favorite ingredient in this is actually the aloe vera and the beetroot, because I think those 2 are just amazing for my son's hair. And phytokeratin, which is a plant-based keratin alternative to an animal keratin. So this is a great product and my son's hair absolutely loves that. Part 2, unlocking your potential with hair education, because knowledge is power, as we know. Tip number 4 is all about decoding your hair, because it's so much more than just being coily or just being curly. Everyone's hair has its own characteristics. It behaves so differently. And the example that I share with our classes and attendees is that if you have 2 children from the same mom and dad, they can have completely different hair textures. And this is not like a race-based thing. This is for anybody. And I think it's really important to highlight that, because sometimes people will buy products and think that this is going to be the product that works in everyone's hair in the house. And sometimes it doesn't always work out that way, unfortunately. That's why it's about personalized hair care. And something that you'll notice with our products is that every product has its own character as well, because each of these can be used interchangeably with each other in your routine. But the standalone product, like the daily leave-in lotion versus the curl definition gel, independently, they work completely differently and they complement each other at the same time. This allows you to mix and match and help you to build a routine that is best for you. Tip number 5 is about learning behind the why. Why are people still deep conditioning? Why are people still putting oils on the scalp? Why is detangling hair so important, and why does it matter where you start detangling your hair strands from? As in, are you detangling from up here or are we detangling from down here? It matters. When you understand the why, you're no longer just using a product because someone else has used the product, or maybe because you've seen a YouTube tutorial and it's worked out really well for one person. You're using a product because you know how it's going to work for you in your routine. You're deep conditioning because you can tell what the difference is for your hair after you've deep conditioned after a long time, and you can actually from experience see the kind of difference and impact it's making to your hair routine overall and the hair texture overall. So these are important things that we consider as well. If I do touch on the scalp thing very quickly about oiling the scalp, oiling the scalp is something that we have done traditionally through generations. However, science actually points to oiling the scalp being something that doesn't help with hydration. And I think people assume that oils are hydrating the scalp. Oils are great at giving the appearance of scalps being hydrated. However, they are not moisturizing or hydrating ingredients. They are great for sealing in moisture and they're great for lubrication. But when it comes to sealing in moisture and hydration, we should be looking at water-based products to do that for us. It's not just about telling you what to do. So you'll see at our cornrow braiding workshops, before you even get to touch a mannequin head, we are literally drilling all this knowledge into you so that you can leave with the knowledge so that you can make educated hair choices and decisions. And it's about the life beyond the 4-hour workshop or the 3-hour workshop. It's about helping you to understand your routine for yourself or for the people that you're coming for, because a lot of people come to learn cornrow and braiding skills for their children, and it's about helping you to make educated choices, educated decisions so that your hair can be thriving. It's not just about the hairstyle for the moment, it's about how your hair can thrive from a longevity perspective. Tip number 6 is embracing continuous learning. This is really important because although people come to our workshops and they've taken so much information away from us on the day, it really is about continuing that education thereafter. And we try to encourage people to do that by booking workshops that we have, or even again sending us messages. Most importantly is practicing the newfound skills that you've learned. That is like the most important thing. It's through the continuity, it's through good practice, it's through asking lots of questions after attending one of our workshops or sending us a direct message. It's through all those acts that you actually not only build up a routine based off a knowledge perspective for your routine, but it also helps you to feel more confident. And I think that's really important as well. So I completely forgot about my hot chocolate. It's cold. I'm going to have to go make myself another hot chocolate, I think. But I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope you've taken a lot away from this video today. And most importantly, I would like to hear from you. If you've got any additional tips, let's speak about them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please follow, please subscribe. I'm really trying to post more consistently. And most importantly, I would really like to grow this channel. So I think we're at just over 400 followers at the moment. So if you could share this with someone who you think would be really excited about watching a video like this, or if you find that the information I've shared today has been informative, then please subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Share with a friend and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Oh, PS, if you would like to attend any of our events, we are across the UK on a national scale. We teach cornrow braiding workshops, and we also teach different workshops for hairdressers as well. So if you're interested, I will link the Eventbrite page in our description bar below so that you can attend one of our workshops, and I cannot wait to see you. See you soon. Bye for now.